Many of us are aware of our aging. Some of us notice wrinkles, some of us notice vision changes, some of us even notice a receding hairline. All of these are external features of aging, but did you know there's a similar process happening internally? Bones are one of our most important body structures. Without them, we would be rendered an immobile blob of goo and organs. Today, I'd like to share some information with you from the National Osteoporosis Foundation, the National Institute of Health, and the Mayo Clinic. Now, bone aging is inevitable. We cannot stop the clock on our body deteriorating. However, we can make the process safer, slower, and more tolerable. Today we're going to discuss the afflictions of our aging bones and hopefully give you some information to help you start a conversation with your doctor. Before we begin, we kind of need to know what the hows and the whats of our bones. So what are bones made of? Bones are made up of collagen and calcium phosphate. Now, calcium phosphate is what we can equate to the strength and the hardness of our bones. And collagen kind of creates the skeletal framework. Now, there are two layers to our bones. We have the first layer, which is called the trabecular layer. Now, it is the inner sponge-like layer. So when you look at a bone, it's got the inner core and then the outer layer. The inner core is the spongy. Now, the outer layer is called the cortical bone. And that's, like I said, it's just the outer layer of our bone. Now that we kind of have an idea of what they're made of, let's take a look at how bones function. Now, most of you know that our bones are protectors. Some of our bones are protectors. Bones like your skull and bones like your rib cage protect those important vital organs. We also have bones that are associated with our mobility. Things like your wrist, your elbow, your hip bones, your leg bones, those all help us move. Now, if we break one of those connections, the functionality is diminished. If you break your wrist, you can't rotate it like this. You can't wave it like this. If you break that connection, the functionality is gone. Now, as we grow and change, our bones also grow and change. The bones that I started with as a baby are not the same bones I have today, and that's similar for all of you. Now, the National Institute of Health uses a perfect metaphor to explain this system. They say, think of your bones like a bank. Every time you go to the bank, you make a deposit or you make a withdrawal. Now, when we're younger, we're depositing more into our bones than we are withdrawing. As we age, we start to withdraw more than we make. The process, when our body loses more bone than we can make, that's a condition known as osteoporosis. Now, normal bones have a tightly woven layer. All of the bone is porous. So the bones tend to be closer, the pores tend to be closer together. And it's a tightly woven and compacted. Now, when you have osteoporosis, the bone tends to have divots or layers. And now the problem with this is that when the bones become structural, when the structure of the bone is compromised, even just a little gentle pressure will cause it to break. And that's why it's so important to know what the osteoporosis is. And it's important to know how to take care of it. Now, most people misrepresent osteoporosis as a female disease. The National Osteoporosis Foundation claims that there are 54 million Americans with osteoporosis. Now, 1 in 2 women and 1 in 4 men ages 50 and older will experience a break from osteoporosis. Now that we kind of know that, let's look at some things we can do to keep our bones healthy. Diet is a major factor in just about everything we do. And our bones are no different. Our bones need those vitamins and minerals to thrive and to maintain a healthy structure. Things like food items, there are some food items that we can consume that helps. Now, these are not limited to these specific things, but some of the most important things are milk, because milk has the calcium, oats, and dark leafy greens. Now, these aren't just the only ones, but these are some of the major ones. The National Institute of Health recommends getting 30 minutes of weight-bearing resistance exercise. And that's not only good for your overall health, but that'll help with your bones too. Maintaining a decent bedtime and getting good oral care can also improve and slow down the progression of bone loss. Reducing alcohol consumption. We don't think of alcohol as a major player in bones, but it is. Alcohol reduces the absorption rate of minerals. So when you drink too much, you can't get enough minerals from your foods and things. Another thing that you can do, not only for yourself, but for others around you, is to quit smoking. Now, understandably, there are some times that those don't always work. And thanks to modern science, we have medications also that can help slow the progression of bone loss. The Mayo Clinic states that there are a few major medications that are prescribed pretty frequently to help this. And these include Fosamax, Actonel, Boniva, and Reclast. There are also hormone-like medications for women who might be postmenopausal. And those are Prolia, Exgeva, and Evista. Now there is an FDA-approved treatment for men as well as women who are who have severe bone loss. And that's called Forteo. Now, bone loss does not just affect little old ladies. Bone loss does not just affect little old ladies. We know this. It's never too late to start thinking about your health and your bone health. There are things we can do right now. This information isn't meant to be a substitute for your primary care physician's advice. I recommend having that conversation with your doctor to see what you can do to keep your bones happy and healthy. Thank you.